This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And the birthday boy for today, April 10th, is a former Toronto Maple Leaf captain. I know it's a little biased on my part because you know I'm a Leaf fan, but he also played for Calgary, Ottawa, and LA in the NHL. He was drafted in the most famous draft of the 2000s, to the 2003 NHL draft, and was a good player for the Flames. And then he was in a blockbuster trade in 2009, sending him to Toronto, and then 6 years later, there was a 9-player trade that sent him to Ottawa. He's a 3-time NHL All-Star and active in the community. His name is Dion Phaneuf, who is 39 years old today. And the funny thing about Dion Phaneuf, he was born April 10th, 1985. Well, guess who was born April 9th, 1985? That's right, this guy. Of course, I'm pointing at myself. So anyway, Dion Phaneuf was born in Edmonton, Alberta on April 10th, 1985. He had a close-knit family and all that. His mother was a former figure skater who was at the Canada Winter Games. And he was good for them. Red Deer picked him up in the Western Hockey League draft. So he played for the Rebels and got them to the WHL final, losing to Kootenay. And in 2003, they again lost to Kelowna in the WHL finals. Winning the WHL final meant that he would have been in the Memorial Cup. So anyway, Phaneuf was draft eligible in 2003, one of the most stacked drafts of all time. I mean, when you look at the top 10, 7 of them were all-stars and all that. The 2003 draft started with Marc-Andre Fleury going to Pittsburgh, Eric Staal to Carolina, Nathan Horton to Florida, Nikolai Sherdov to Columbus, Thomas Vanek to Buffalo, Milan Mahalik to San Jose, Ryan Sutter to Nashville, and Braden Colburn to Atlanta. Then it was Calgary's turn to pick 9th, and they picked the third defenseman on the board, Dion Phaneuf from Red Deer, so he didn't have to move far. Calgary picked him up, and he stayed in Alberta. So anyway, he would play junior hockey for a few more years after he got drafted, and called him one of the best prospects around. So he signed his first contract in September 2005 once the NHL finally got their act together and made his debut against Minnesota. He would score a goal against Colorado 5 nights later. He was named Rookie of the Month for November, scoring 9 points and 2 game-winning goals. Phaneuf was compared to Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin as candidates for the top rookie or the Calder Trophy. He picked up 20 goals, making him the third rookie defenseman after Bryant Leach and Barry Beck to do so. So anyway, he was named the finalist for the Calder Trophy, but Ovechkin beat Crosby and him for the trophy. Phaneuf went to the All-Star game in 2007 as a sophomore, took part in the hardest shot competition, and took second to Zdeno Chara. But he did score a goal and an assist in the All-Star game. The Flames decided midway through the 07-08 season to sign him to a 6-year extension. And he did very well. He got to the starting lineup of the 2008 All-Star game. He was a finalist for the Defenseman of the Year, aka the Norris, but lost to Nick Lidstrom. Phaneuf had a frustrating 2009 season. His poor season and high salary led to speculation that he might be traded. So, anyway, injuries were huge. But by January 2010, he was starting to lose his touch in Calgary, and they decided to make a trade. Calgary sent Phaneuf, Freddie Solstrom, and Keith Ollie to the Leafs for Matt Stajan, Nicholas Hagman, Ian White, and Jamal Myers. No big deal. I mean, it was basically Phaneuf for Stajan. That was the trade. Anyway, Phaneuf would make his debut with the Leafs in 2010, given second star of the game. Phaneuf was given the A for assistant captain after Mike Komisarek got injured. However, Phaneuf did have a created positive change in the dressing room. The Leafs decided to give Dion Phaneuf the C and make him captain of the Leafs June 2010, succeeding Matt Sundin. Unfortunately, Phaneuf suffered a massive injury on November 2nd, 2010 against the Sens when his leg was cut open with a skate by Peter Reagan crashing into the boards. He was put off the ice for 46 weeks and returned to the Leafs lineup in 2010 at December 9th. Regardless of that, in 2012 he was named to his third All-Star game. And all that. And Phaneuf helped the Leafs make the 2013 playoffs. Because the Leafs had not made the playoffs since before the lockout. And of course, we all know the Leafs lost in 7 games to the Bruins. So anyway, the Leafs needed a rebuild. So they wanted to ship Phaneuf around. Detroit was interested in Phaneuf. However, Toronto refused to retain a large portion of Phaneuf's salary. Basically, they didn't want to eat that much of the contract. He would spend the rest of the year in Toronto. But when Mike Babcock became head coach, Phaneuf had excelled. But for some strange reason, even though he spent 7 seasons with Toronto, he was traded. February 2016. The worst part was it was to the arch rival Ottawa Senators. Phaneuf would go to Ottawa alongside Matt Fradden and 3 prospects for Jared Cowan, Colin Greening, Milan Mahalik, a prospect and a second-round pick. Milan Mahalik did not really do well in Toronto and all that, but basically it was Phaneuf for Mahalik. The Leafs had not made a trade with Ottawa since 1998, but that was just a minor trade and all that. He played 20 games with the Senators, scoring 8 points for them. But Ottawa gave him credit and made him an assistant captain for the 2016-17 season. Phaneuf scored a massive overtime goal against the Boston Bruins in Game 2 of the 2017 playoffs, on their way to shocking the Bruins and going all the way to the final, the conference final, before being knocked out by the Penguins in double overtime in Game 7. Ottawa stumbled out of the gate. There was dissension in the dressing room. The team's management decided to dismantle the team to rebuild, so Phaneuf was traded to LA for Marian Gaborik. Kind of a weird deal and all that. To complete the deal, Phaneuf had to allow a trade to the Kings under the no-move clause in his contract. The Sens would eat up 25% of Phaneuf's contract. Well, while at King, he played his 1,000th career game, and the Kings bought out his contract and all that. Phaneuf would retire 2 years later, officially, although he didn't play any games. He was just job shadowing. So Phaneuf was a very tough player and all that. He was known for his physical plays and all that. And also for one time against Calgary, with Calgary, his slap shot shattered the glass not once, but twice in one game. Regardless, Phaneuf actually has a good personal life. He began dating popular Canadian actress and host of Popular Mechanics for Kids, Alicia Cuthbert. That's how I know her from May 2008. Unfortunately, the relationship was the center of controversy in December 2008 when Sean Avery, who was playing for Dallas, made a comment on how other NHL players, such as Phaneuf, fell in love with his sloppy seconds, aka the fact that Avery had dated Cuthbert in the past. And then they broke up, and then Avery was just upset that Phaneuf was dating him. So unfortunately, Avery got a 6-game suspension, and Dallas cut him off permanently. Phaneuf and Cuthbert announced their engagement in September 2012, and they married on July 6, 2013 in Prince Edward Island. So anyway, they have 2 kids together. Phaneuf and his family did move to Los Angeles. So anyway, he's on the cover of NHL 09, which was the last PS2 NHL game, and I used to play the shit out of them that when I had my PS2 and all that. So anyway, yeah, he was a good player. So for Calgary, Toronto, Ottawa, LA, he played 1,048 career games, missed the 500-point total by 6, and picked up 55 playoff games with 21 points. His longest streak in the playoffs was 2017 with Ottawa, getting to the conference finals. Otherwise, he missed. He didn't get out of the first round every other year. So yeah, he was good. Part of the All-Rookie team in 06, 3 All-Star appearances in 07, 08, and 12. EA Sports cover athlete in 2009, of course, for the PS2 game that I played the crap out of because, it was the last PS2 game. So anyway, Dion Phaneuf will always be a Leaf in my heart. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond to do.